tap that subscribe button. Be sure to click the bell icon to get notifications for whenever I upload. Now let's get on to the video. What's going on, guys? We're doing a bit of a new format here for these Boruto reviews. We're going to see some Naruto Ninja Storm 4 gameplay in the background with no commentary that I did a bit earlier. Just kind of background noise and background music. So enjoy that. And if you like that, let me know in the comment section. I may do a walkthrough on the story and things of that nature. It isn't the newest Ninja Storm game, the Naruto Boruto Ninja Storm Connections, but it's good enough. And let's get into what we're here for. Let's get into that Boruto chapter review. I'm sorry I'm a few months late, but this manga moved very slowly, and you'll kind of see where in the 4 chapters I missed, we only really got what I would consider like 2 chapters worth of content. But we'll open up with Sumari pulling up on Kawaki, who, as we left off, was interrogating, I guess is the best word I have it for it, Amado, demanding his limiters be removed. Kawaki says everything's fine, they're just having a civil conversation, but Sumari can kind of see that's not the case. And I have to take a short aside, and it's funny to hear after that whole, like, moment she had with Sarada about not calling her class rep, and she wants to be her name. The only person that calls her Sumari is Kawaki, because he wasn't in class with them, and that's who I think they're going to end up together with. You know, I know ships are big in Boruto, like Sarada and Boruto ending up together and things of that nature. I think Sumari and Kawaki are going to end up together, because they're kind of both outcasts in a way, while both being in the Leaf Village. Continue to move on. Kawaki, thinking he has the upper hand, is still threatening Amado. Amado hits him with the code word. He has a passphrase similar to he had with Delta to put Kawaki down. And he says, "Only babble in your sleep." And next thing you know, Kawaki shuts down. And while we have this moment going on with Amado and gang, we hop over back to the Trisuke in the Sand Village with with Ryu being introduced to Yodo and Araya. Yodo is not really enjoying the person she cares the most about. I'll phrase it that way, being replaced with this Trisuke. So and Ryu can sort of tell that it's not really going the way he wants it to go. While they're doing that, on the other side of the Sand Village, we have we have Konohamaru doing his best Riz attempt on the tree Moagi or Mitsuri. I'm not really too interested in that. I'm kind of not even going to really note much of that. It's just Konohamaru flirting and then taking his flirting back because he realizes that this person isn't the person he's actually interested in, just a clone of her. Ryu, meanwhile, starts scanning with his Iron Sand powers, similar to Shinsuke. And while sensing for Boruto, he can sense Yodo's bloodlust. Mitsuki reminds him that Boruto is technically a criminal. And Ryu informs him that he doesn't care about Boruto's criminal nature. It's just that Jura wants him dead for how much information he has. He seems to know too much about the Trisuke, and that'll come up later in chapter 22 that we end off with. We go back, and Kawaki and Amado are negotiating over raising Kawaki's limits after he's been apprehended and shut down. And Amado agrees to do it, but he has to implant plant a karma on this clone he's made for his daughter, so his daughter can return. And Kawaki agrees to do that, but only after Code, Boruto, and the Divine Trees are taken care of. And we're sort of left off there, not knowing if Amado accepts that deal or not. Ryu baits Yodo out. Yodo goes for the bait of seeing Ryu's thorn bulb. She tries to attack it, and sensing her bloodlust already, he could see that coming and easily protects himself. And now we transition into the big fight scene that takes from chapter 19 into chapter 22. So I'm going to kind of skip around here. Araya has the perfect counter after imbuing Shinki's chakra into his sword in a flashback. He can counter the Iron Sand and detect where the fake Shinki Ryu is in the Iron Sand, giving the Leaf and Sand ninjas a head up. Except Konohamaru, who is about to be devoured because he let his feelings get him too close, and now Matsuri is all over him, about to devour him and eat him for lunch. Jura, chilling back at wherever the Trisuke hideout, is reflecting on human emotion and how love is the ultimate driver of human emotion and their biggest weakness as well. And how they also have love and need to find out how to overcome it. Ryu spawns back in with some claw grime fodder that will be important for later after he is defeated. And Konohamaru was about to get eaten. This is where Ryu starts to take the upper hand, getting his sword back from Araya, and starts taking advantage and kills, well, anime kills Yodo. Yodo gets stricken by the Iron Sand, starts to go down, gives Sarada this long emotional rant, also letting uh, Ryu know, because Ryu is threatening to kill them all. Sarada lets them know she doesn't know where Boruto is to even tell him. And he's saying he's going to kill them all because they're useless. Yodo dies, and she's telling Sarada to not hold back for the person she cares about, blah, blah, blah. We also get a flashback from Sasuke, letting Boruto know that Sarada has already, I believe, awakened her Mangekyo Sharingan to some degree. She just doesn't know it yet and doesn't know how to use it. But in her moment of need, she will. And this chapter 21, which I've kind of gone through 19 and 20 already, chapter 21 is all about Boruto's Mangekyo Sharingan and how OP it is. I would say it's Obito level, with her being able to manipulate black holes through the name of Arame or something like that of the technique. She absolutely destroys Ryu and the Iron Sand, being able to manipulate the gravity of it and just gravity in general because she controls black holes, which is a bit OP for a child. But when you think back to like Obito, it's similar to that in a lot of ways. Let's see here. Now with Ryu defeated, you get over to Matsuri slash Tree Moagi, who is about to eat Boruto, or about to eat Konohamaru. And that's where Konohamaru gets the upper hand using his Rasengans, only for his quote-unquote weaknesses to be taken advantage of, because Tree Moagi lets out a Konohamaru-chan before she's destroyed, and I guess he holds back and does not destroy her completely. Ryu notes that his love held him back as much as it held her back. And then Boruto has to leap in and save his old teacher. And that's when, with Sarada down, Jura steps in. And with his target, Boruto, there, Jura also steps in for sure. And Boruto kind of knows he can't get him with the Flying Raijin, or he thinks the Flying Raijin. He uses his Flying Raijin to land a Uzuhiko, and Jura just tanks it. Kashin Koji is telling Ito why Boruto can't just run away, and casually kind of just says Boruto's probably going to die here. Jura, always calm, asks Boruto what love is. And Boruto says love is humans' weakness, but it's also what separates the humans from the trees. Boruto drops his sword mid-fight and warns Jura, break it and suffer. A fate worse than even death. Jura just kind of laughs it off because he knows Boruto is writing checks he can't really cash. Boruto refuses to give up love, channels it, and hits Jura with another Uzuhiko after another off-brand Flying Raijin. But Jura shrugs it off. His balance cannot be disoriented, and that's where the chapter leaves off, with kind of a stare down between the ultimate villain, quote-unquote, of Boruto Part 2, the Blue Vortex, and our protagonist, a bit stalemated. These chapters were pretty good. I enjoyed the Konohamaru stuff. I think it'll look cool animated. I think the fights will all look really cool animated. My only Boruto manga complaint is that they are so spaced out. I don't think should be a monthly manga. This is a bi-weekly manga masquerading as a monthly manga for no reason. But with that said, that'll be the end of this chapter review. Thank you so much if you still tune in for these. I'll try to do them every 2 months now. So the next one will be chapter 24 in a couple months. But if I miss it, I promise I'll get back to it when something important happens like this. 'Cause I consider Sarada getting her Mangekyo Sharingan and things like that pretty important. Thank you for tuning in. Peace. See you in the next one.